The Knicks continue to prove themselves as they are now on a nice winning streak, 5 games in a row at home. And in this video, I want to break down exactly why the Knicks are making a real statement to the NBA that they are the real deal. And I also wanted to highlight one individual, one player on this basketball team that is the X factor to the New York Knicks' success. And there's also a report about him that, yeah, he's a pending free agent, and apparently teams will be interested. Will the New York Knicks decide to extend this player during the season, or will he walk in free agency after the season is wrapped up? Yes, that player is indeed Mitchell Robinson. As you guys saw, Mitchell Robinson is back with the Knicks, and his impact is absolutely off the charts. You're talking about a guy in Mitchell Robinson who can give you second chance opportunities, the best offensive rebounder in the entire NBA. He dominates the glass. When a reporter asked him, how does it feel to be out there doing your thing and rebounding the basketball, he's like, this is nothing new. I mean, Mitch got a new level of confidence in him. I absolutely love it. Protecting the rim. And I really do feel like Knicks fans need to appreciate Mitchell Robinson a little bit more. And also, I like what Mike Brown and the overall coaching staff's philosophy is regarding Mitchell Robinson in terms of load management. Because let's be honest, folks, we need Mitch healthy by the end of the season, because all these positive plays early on in the season, it's good. We want to get a high seed in the Eastern Conference. We want this team to buy in and get some chemistry, but we need Mitchell Robinson healthy. So I feel like the load management that the Knicks are doing, having Mitch sit out in back-to-backs, not even having him start off the season because he tweaked his whatever injury he had. So I feel like the whole Mitchell Robinson situation is definitely something I want to highlight in today's video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe here to Knicks Media. We're really excited to give you guys all the latest news on the channel all season long. So let's get into the report that came out from Ian Begley's SNY. The Knicks are not really involved in extension talks right now with Mitchell Robinson, and there is a big chance that he enters free agency. Now, the problem with this is the Knicks are strapped for cash, and there's no way the Knicks are going to be able to pay Mitchell Robinson if he hits the open market. And if Mitch stays healthy all season long and the Knicks go on a deep playoff run, and Mitch is playing the type of basketball that he's playing right now, which is arguably the best in his entire NBA career, he is going to get a huge contract offer from a team that could lure him away from the New York Knicks. And that's a big deal. Like, if I'm the Knicks, I figure out a way to get him under contract beyond this season, because when Mitchell Robinson is on the floor, you really see a different level of basketball with this Knicks team, because without Mitchell Robinson, they lack that real energy down low of getting those rebounds and protecting the paint. A guy like Ariel Hook-Porty, for example, when he started the season off as the starter, and I like Hook-Porty. You like the upside. And we're like, all right, Hook-Porty can develop behind Robinson. Maybe he can be somewhat similar to Mitch. It's not even close. I mean, the difference between Mitch and Hook-Porty is night and day. And obviously, you're talking about a seasoned veteran in Robinson compared to a young year two, and Hook-Porty can't really compare them. But it really goes to show you the type of impact that Mitchell Robinson gives this Knicks basketball team. And it makes you wonder, are the Knicks going to have a contract on the table for Mitch for a contract extension in the middle of the season? Or are they actually going to let him walk in free agency? Because I'm a little concerned with that. And you see the impact that he has on this basketball team. It levels up everybody around him, and I argue that he is the X factor. Like, this Knicks team without Mitchell Robinson, they look all right. They look good. They can win some games. They can score a lot of points, but with him on the court, the Knicks look unbeatable, especially with OG playing the way he's playing, and the defense with him and Bridges and Deuce off the bench. Like, the defensive identity of this Knicks basketball team is all the way through with Mitchell Robinson. The identity that Mike Brown is trying to implement is getting second chance opportunities, have more possessions than the other team. That is all about Mitch. And obviously, we have guys in this team that's important, like this captain, Jalen Brunson, Cat when he plays his best brand of basketball, Josh Hart off the bench, Clarkson. I mean, this Knicks team is deep. It's not all dependent on one individual. But I would argue Mitchell Robinson is one of the most important pieces to the New York Knicks championship success. That's what we want here, folks. We want to go out there and win a championship, and I'm not afraid to admit it. So you guys let me know in the comments, do you guys agree with what I'm talking about when I'm breaking down Mitchell Robinson, that he is the X factor? And I feel like keeping him off his feet, not having him play back-to-backs, limiting his minutes throughout the season is the smart way to do it. Like, I really do feel like this organization right now understands that the playoffs is everything. So put Mitch in bubble wrap, obviously have him play throughout the season. And I know that it's a new era of basketball where some people don't like the load management. They're like old school, like go out there, play, and go play basketball. But I don't know, man. I have a big fear of the injury concern with Mitchell Robinson, because that's unfortunately what's held him back throughout his entire career. And it would be awesome if Mitch has a full season of health. He doesn't have to go through months of rehab, and he could be fully in shape and at peak by the NBA playoffs, because you see the identity that Mitchell Robinson brings to this team when he's on the floor. It is absolutely ridiculous. You saw what the Knicks team did against Minnesota. I mean, going up against Rudy Gobert, Mitchell Robinson is dominating Rudy Gobert. Going up against anybody, it feels like Mitch is the best player on this team in certain aspects of course, rebounding and protecting the paint. And honestly, as great of a player Jalen Brunson is, as phenomenal of a player Karl-Anthony Towns is on offense, without Mitch, we literally don't have anybody on this basketball team that I got confidence to be able to be an elite rim protector and rebound. And without those two things, this Knicks team is not going to get as far as we want them to go. We can beat up on these Eastern Conference teams and beat up on the Minnesota Timberwolves, but we get into the postseason and you got to go up against really good basketball teams. It's all going to be about defense, 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 and I feel like Mitch is that guy. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments about this. I definitely wanted to highlight Mitch. Now let's switch gears to something else I wanted to highlight. The Knicks are undefeated at home, and if they can continue this dominance on their home floor, it really goes to show you that home court is going to be very important in the playoffs. Why that first seed is something I am looking at. The Chicago Bulls are the first seed. I don't think that's going to continue. I think that the Knicks really have a chance to get that number 1 seed. And isn't it awesome to finally see this Knicks team defend home floor, because it's been a while since this Knicks team wins consistently on their home floor at MSG. Guys like OG Anunoby, we're seeing a new level of his game right now, and his game against Minnesota was really fun to watch. His ability to get his hands on the basketball, force easy transition buckets on the other end, and just being a really big-time 3-level scorer, all-around basketball player. OG Anunoby is really coming into his own in terms of like a star in this league, and he could be one of the most underrated player throughout the NBA, because name another guy that has that length, that size, that could put the ball on the floor, score at all 3 levels, and be that good of a defender. OG Anunoby is a freak, and I'm really, really excited the Knicks have him locked up long-term, because he is such a big piece of what Mike Brown is trying to do. And you look at what Mike Brown's philosophy is with this basketball team and how they're playing for his system, you can see how free this basketball team is playing. They're playing fun. You see them adjust at halftime, go out there and ball out in the second half. Like, this Knicks team isn't perfect. They're going to learn some things about themselves as the season goes on, as Mike Brown is instilling his, overall system with this roster. I feel like, I don't know about you, but I really am high on this Knicks team early on in the season. They started off a little slow, 2-3. They started 2-0 at home, and then they go on a 3-game losing streak on the road, and they're back home winning some basketball games on a little 3-game winning streak. But I feel like you look at the overall personnel combined with the new coaching staff, I have a lot of high expectations for this Knicks basketball team as they continue to progress throughout this season. Where is your head at? So please let me know in the comments how you're feeling about these New York Knicks. We have another few days off before the Knicks are back in action at MSG, and then they go on a long road trip. So hopefully the Knicks can translate their success on the road, because that's definitely something we want to see this Knicks team go after. Now, another guy I wanted to highlight in this video is definitely Jordan Clarkson, because Jordan Clarkson is a former 6th man of the year. We saw him in those back-to-back games on last Sunday and Monday go out there and put up 15-plus points. That spark plug off the bench offensively, that flamethrower, that is exactly what we missed last year. The only guy off the bench we felt confident in was Deuce McBride. Now we have Jordan Clarkson to rely on as that veteran volume guy. I mean, it is ridiculous. And the cool thing about Jordan Clarkson is when he's hot, he's hot. And when he's cold, all right, maybe he's not going to be on that night. But the cool thing about this basketball team is you're not relying on just Clarkson. He's not the only man off the bench. Josh Hart is playing his butt off right now off the bench. He heard all the slander that people gave him early on in the season. He had a back spasm issue, easing his way back in. Josh Hart is playing really good winning basketball, getting rebounds, pushing the ball in transition, hitting some shots beyond the arc. I mean, Josh Hart is another big piece of this team. Like, you gotta love what Leon Rose has done with the roster, and I'm really loving what Mike Brown is doing with his roster so far. He's experimenting. He's learning learning on the fly, Mike Brown, in terms of how this Knicks team plays well with each other, trying to figure out the right five to be on the court in certain situations. And it really does feel like that we got a grown man in charge of Mike Brown and, of course, Leon Rose upstairs. So that's really all the things I wanted to talk about on these off days before the New York Knicks get back in action on Sunday. Feel free to let me know your thoughts, anything related to these New York Knicks, but I feel like the Knicks are making a real statement around the NBA. Big shout out to Sleeper for being the proud sponsor of Knicks Media all season long. Really excited to continue the partnership up with Sleeper. You guys can use my code Knicks for a 100% deposit match up to $100 down below in the description, folks. Build a really fun parlay, went up to 100 extra money, legal in all 25 states, half the country. But of course, terms and conditions apply. Bet responsibly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks. I'm out of here. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time. Go Knicks! Peace.